Hi guys, I'm Charlie, your Charlie book fanatic. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to recommend you some books, and the theme for this month is actually books with a focus on family. So I will link the Goodreads group down below, as well as a channel for Trina and Kayla Rayne, who are the hosts of this recommendations group. Let's talk about some books. The first book I want to recommend to you is We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. I read this in October and it was so good. I rated it 4 stars. It's about a guy called Henry who gets abducted by aliens. It's a sci-fi, and he has a choice to save the world because the world is going to end in I think 100 and somewhat days, and he has to push the red button if he wants to save the world, and if he doesn't, the world will end. Henry doesn't think he actually wants to save the world, and the whole book is basically him contemplating this decision, but it's about so much more, and especially the focus on family was so good. Henry's family, his brother and his brother's girlfriend and his mother and Henry's grandmother, and how they all interacted with each other was amazing, and I think that was the best aspect of the whole book for me. The second book I want to recommend is When We Collided by Emery. When We Collided follows 2 characters, Vivi, who suffers from bipolar disorder, and Jonas, who is Vivi's romantic interest and the other main character, and I'm specifically talking about Jonas's family. Jonas has, I think, 4 siblings, 2 older ones and 2 younger ones. His mother is grieving over his father's death. She does care about her family, but she doesn't take care of her family. She's in bed all day, she drinks alcohol, and she doesn't take care of her children anymore. So Jonas and his older siblings take care of the 2 younger siblings, and they're all really close, and it was so nice to read about this big family taking care of each other, cooking together, hanging out, fighting, just everything. The third book I want to recommend is Wolf by Brian Graudin. This is historical fiction, and it's a retelling of the Second World War. If Hitler had won the war, and it follows the Axis Tour, which is an intercontinental motorcycle race. And I'm specifically talking about Adele, who is the girl Yael shapeshifts into, and her brother Felix, who is also participating in this Axis Tour. So it's not really Adele who is in this race this time around, but it's Yael, who isn't really Felix's sister, if that makes sense. But I love how Felix cares about his sister and enters this Axis Tour to watch his sister and take care of her. And he basically doesn't want to participate in this race, but he does it with her to protect her, and I thought that was so sweet. Then I want to recommend I'll Give You the Sun by Jenny Nelson. I absolutely loved this book. It follows 2 twins. We follow one of the twins when they are 13, and we follow the other part of the twins when they are 16. It's basically about them falling out and how this all came to be and how their mother died, and it was all so lovely to figure out throughout the book, because you don't know why these 2 twins aren't talking to each other anymore. They were so close when they were younger, and when they got older they just fell apart. And this whole book is basically an exploration of them both as individuals, but also of an exploration of their family, and how these twins who were so close once came to fall apart. And Landline by Rainbow Rowell. This is Rainbow Rowell's only adult novel, and it follows a man and a woman who are married and have children, and this woman called Georgie is constantly working. She's a workaholic. She doesn't get along well with her husband Neil anymore. They met when they were young and fell in love and eventually married and got children, but they both feel like they don't connect anymore, they can't talk to each other anymore, and Neil leaves with his 2 children to spend Christmas with his family, and Georgie stays behind. She visits her mother, who lives close by. The only book by Rainbow Rowell I actually like. I thought she wrote about divorce and being married in such a deep and profound way. I really loved it. Then we have Blood Road by Moira Young. The family aspect of this book was absolutely my favorite thing in the entire book. It's about this girl, her brother gets kidnapped, and she has to take her younger sister along with her to rescue her brother because her father has been shot and he died. So she and her younger sister are alone, and they have to go after their brother and save him. And the older sister really doesn't like her younger sister. She resents her because their mother died when she was giving birth to her. It's in this book basically they grow toward each other, they grow to like each other, they grow close, and I love that. The big brother wasn't really much in the book, but I really liked how the older sister and the younger sister connected with each other and really came close because of all these circumstances they were in. And the last book I want to recommend is Velva Jean Learns to Drive by Jennifer Niven, which is also historical fiction, and it follows Velva Jean from a very young age until she's 16 in this first book. Wow, so much happens. The whole focus of this book is Velva Jean and her family and what happens to her and her family. She has a very big family, and they all live in the mountains. They live in a very isolated community. I love that. I love how they have each other to talk to and to support on. This is all about family and being together, and it takes place in the south, I think. I love the way they talk to each other and play banjo and sing together. These were all the recommendations I have for you today. Let me know down below if you want to recommend any books with a family focus to me, or if you have read any of these books and like them. I would love to know. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.